from Daytona Beach. It's National Junior College Athletic Association Division I men's basketball. Welcome inside the L. Gale Lemerand Center on the campus of Daytona State College, where this afternoon we close out our basketball doubleheader here on WDSC. The Santa Fe Saints 13-9 on the year, taking on the 18-4 Daytona State Falcons. A highly anticipated Mid-Florida Conference game as we look forward to what should be a high-scoring, high-energy game. Two teams in the Mid-Florida Conference trying to improve their position. Austin Lyon, Ted Sofianos. Daytona State, 18-4 on the year. They average almost 90 points per game. This is a team that plays at a frenetic pace. A lot of fun to watch.
They've got some great size on their team. A lot of the games that they've won have been blowouts. So obviously the technical ability, the coach, Brock Morris, what he's brought to the table now that he's been here since May, and in such a short amount of time, 3 committed players to the Division I schools, and a number ready to go.
And Brock Morris, in his first season, has done a phenomenal job organizing a team that didn't have a whole lot of holdovers from a year ago. Daytona State, a half game out of first place in the Mid-Florida Conference. Santa Fe right now sitting at 2-3. Santa Fe, a team that has endured a lot of injury problems. They're now starting to get healthy, so even though their record may not appear all that great, this is a formidable opponent this afternoon.
Right, they can't take it lightly. At the same token, what Daytona State has already displayed, I think right now they might look like, at least on paper, they have the upper hand, but we are sure soon to see the outcome of that. Like you mentioned before, the second part of our doubleheader here, I give a lot of credit to our WDSC TV and crew for what they've done in basically delivering the game to our region via high-definition television.
Austin Lyon, that's Ted Sofianos. We just saw Santa Fe win the women's matchup. Daytona State, one of the best teams in the country, just outside the top 25 in the latest national rankings. And in a state that is as competitive as Florida, every game is going to be a challenge.
It's been great throughout the whole season to watch them where they are. Obviously, they've got to lock into the conference playoffs coming up in February. And I tell you, I'm really excited about this matchup and the matchups to come for Daytona State. They're certainly right now on a trajectory going forward.
Let's show you the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. First for Santa Fe, you've got Brady Fernandez, Ivan Smith, Noah Thorpe in the backcourt, Admir Basovic up front. John Mason is at the forward spot, 6'7" sophomore from Avon Park. Coach for Santa Fe is Chris Morey, now in his 16th season. Recently eclipsed 300 wins on the sideline in Gainesville. He's been named Mid-Florida Conference Coach of the Year 4 times. Daytona State, 18-4. It is a stacked starting lineup. Tariq Issa, Hadim C., Bryce Williams, the sophomore from Tampa, Dury Cadwell, who signed with Buffalo, and 6'5" freshman Harwin Francois. C is rated as the 4th best junior college player in the country. He has got a ton of high major offers. Bryce Williams from the Tampa area has already signed with Ole Miss. Brock Morris, 18-4, as Ted mentioned, took over the program on May 2nd, and they had only 2 players on the roster at that time. You had Bryce Williams, who played last year. Corbin Merritt was a center on last year's team. He got hurt. So we had to recruit a ton of new talent just to have enough players to field a team this year.
But that gentleman has a storied past, even as a young coach, and what a following. You know, to recruit this many great players in this amount of time, and as you just mentioned, just out of the top 25 nationally. Looking forward to Brock sticking around for Daytona State for a long time.
As we mentioned, Daytona State a chance to tie for first in the Mid-Florida Conference. Right now, the College of Central Florida sitting at 4-1. They are in first place alone. Daytona State at 3-1. Eastern Florida 3-2. Santa Fe is in 4th. The Saints at 2-3. A chance to make up some ground in the standings if they can pull what would certainly be considered an upset this afternoon. Admir Bazovic jumping it up against Hadim C., 6'10" sophomore from the Senegal, and it is C that controls the opening tip for Daytona State. Falcons in the home white, Santa Fe in the road navy blue. Glad you're along here for this Saturday afternoon game. A lob on the opening play, and Bryce Williams hammers it through.
Oh my God, what a flush. Insanity. I'm sure that was a structured play right there from the get-go.
The 15th best junior college prospect in the country. He's already signed with Ole Miss. Foul on Dury Cadwell, 6'5" freshman wing from Houston, Texas. That brought the crowd to its feet here right off the opening tip. Daytona State wins it, and a perfectly executed lob stuffed down by Bryce Williams.
Absolute monster jam, well above the rim. That's two movies I just referenced. Above the rim and Monster Jam.
Well, we got a long way to go, so get that count high. Shot clock is at 3. Skip pass, Noah Thorpe gonna have to let it go. Off the front rim, rebounded by Issa. As we mentioned, Daytona State, a lot of fun to watch. This team plays at a frenetic pace, averaging nearly 90 points per game. They're gonna get up and down. Ivan Smith with the steal. Challenging at the rim. Nice drive by Smith. Took it right into the chest of Francois.
Good defense, but better offense shown right there. 2-2. Tied up as we just begin the first half.
Brock Morris expected a 2-3 zone from Santa Fe. That's what he sees. And Bryce Williams able to bust it. He's got the first 5 for Daytona State.
That was a good 5 feet out from the perimeter as well. 5 feet out from the three-point circle.
Free throw line jumper off the back rim for Bldg, but another chance, and Ivan Smith in and out on the 3.
Oh, guys.
Third chance on this possession for Santa Fe. Ivan Smith, one of the players who has been out. Broken foot, missed the first 15 games of the season. He's a kid who can fill it up, averaging 15.5 per game. So getting him back into the lineup is a huge boost for Santa Fe. Shot clock down to 3. Thorpe again has it late in the clock. That does not hit the rim. It'll be a shot clock violation.
Daytona State basketball.
First meeting between these teams back on January 9th, an 84-66 win for Daytona State. Hit 12 threes in that game, and they were plus 12 on the glass. Already got 1 3 today. Can't make it 2. Arwin Francois a little bit short. Long pass ahead, athletic save by Brady Fernandez, but he threw it right to Francois. Opportunity in transition for the Falcons.
Settling there for another 3.
Fernandez pulls it back out. Smith, good ball rotation there. Mason passed up the 3. Smith will not. And he's got it. Ivan Smith, 32% from 3. He was 1 of 9 from beyond the arc the first time these teams met.
Way downtown on that shot. Definitely showing range.
A standout at Oviedo helped the Lions win a state championship in one of the state's larger classifications in the state of Florida. As Bldg is whistled for the personal.
Calling the foul before the shot. Will not go to the line.
Williams, contested 3, and he buries it. They'll actually call that a 2. So a long 2 for Bryce Williams. He's got all 7 of the points so far for Daytona State.
Yeah, between him and C, 57% field goal, as well as C having 59. I mean, that's extremely high. Very productive.
Thorpe, nice look inside. Bldg missed the easy one.
Bldg, biggest guy on the floor.
Hadim C will let it fly. 6'10" big man from the Senegal. He's been shooting it well as of late. 69% from the floor in the last 3 games.
So far, a bit of a slow start for both teams. Field goal percentage a little bit on the downside for both teams.
This is the pace at which Santa Fe wants to play. They would love to keep Daytona State in the half court, make it a lower scoring, lower possession game. C with the jump hook, pretty move.
Made that turn look so easy, a gentle, soft one-hander.
List of schools that have offered C includes Auburn, Texas A&M, LSU, and UCF. Host of programs that you expect to see playing in the NCAA tournament.
That's the Platinum Club.
Smith with the deflection, 2-on-1. He will take it himself. Bounces out, but Ivan Smith will be on the line. So Smith and Williams doing most of the scoring so far here in the first half. Ivan is the only player who scored for Santa Fe, and Bryce Williams has 7 of the 9 for Daytona State.
Smith listed at 6 foot. He's got some wheels. Very quick, speedy player.
I got the chance to watch Smith play quite a bit at Oviedo. He is a kid that can fill it up in a hurry, scores in a variety of ways, and at 6 feet, he can jump out of the gym.
And with an 85% free throws percentage, he just made 1 of 2.
And again, Santa Fe is 13-9, but when you miss guys like Ivan Smith for 15 games, your record is not going to be as good.
Right, that's part of your bread and butter of the roster.
Brady Fernandez, another starter, also out. Missed about 10 games with a stress fracture. Issa passes on the 3, driving baseline. Williams has had the hot hand early. Off the front rim, nice rebound, Dury Cadwell. And Hadim C steps out and buries the triple.
They got so many ways to attack you.
And when Daytona State makes shots, allowed to set up that zone, a lot of length. Bldg around and out.
Yeah, that's not the shot you want the 7-footer to take most frequently.
Bldg, a transfer into the Santa Fe program from Division I Montana. Native of Bosnia and Herzegovina, played his high school basketball in Virginia. C's pass deflected and taken away by Thorpe. Thorpe, nice crossover, decided to take it into the body on C, and the big man is whistled for the foul.
C picking up the foul there.
So 2 free throws for Noah Thorpe. He hit all 5 of his free throws the first time these teams met.
And just as you say it,
it's never fails. Never fails. You mentioned how good someone is, especially at the free throw line. That's always where it comes out.
It's a Murphy's Law thing.
Thorpe, one of the few guys that's got it going offensively for Santa Fe the last couple of games. 5 of 8 from 3. And he misses both.
Whoa.
Uncharacteristic from Thorpe. Zubair Syed on the floor, along with Bldg. Off the kick, Williams. He's missed his last 2. C trying to save it on the baseline, out of bounds.
Just caught his foot on the baseline there.
Ryan Leonard seeing his first action. And Chris Morey less than pleased with some of the calls the last couple of possessions.
Yeah, we have the pleasure of being right next to him.
Not afraid to vent his frustration to the officials. Shot clock down to 10. Smith gets it to Bldg. Free throw line jumper is good. Nice touch from the 7-foot sophomore. One of 2 players to start every game this season. He has been a rock for Santa Fe. A 3-point margin, 12-9. Foul going to be whistled against Bldg on the entry pass, and that's his second. That will mean an early appearance from Boško Bojović. Also hails from Bosnia and Herzegovina. So Bldg sits In comes Blvd, 6'7" freshman forward. So you lose a little bit of size and you lose some offensive ability when you go to the bench.
Some international flavor for both teams based on the roster.
Athletic rebound in traffic there by Gay, sophomore from the Senegal. Williams, wide open three. Well, he won't miss many of those. And a good rebound in traffic by Blvd.
Good ball movement there. Just didn't execute.
Blvd trapped and threw it away. Cadwell all the way in for the easy deuce.
Smith, who's with the ball right now, did not want to foul. Probably smart to do so.
Cadwell, one of the players from Daytona State that has already signed, headed to Buffalo. And what a year they're having. Now ranked 14th in the country. Maybe the best mid-major program outside of Gonzaga.
Stepped on the baseline. Turnover.
And Chris Morey trying to implore his team to be confident against that long, athletic Daytona State zone. Cadwell on the baseline. Easy reverse there by Hadim C. He's got 7. C and Bryce Williams shouldering the load offensively for Daytona State, and the lead is 7.
Oh, you mentioned shoulders. Look at the wingspan of C. Broad shoulders.
Good contest by Cadwell, but could not avoid the foul. That's his second.
Non-shooting foul. Neither team in any type of penalty situation or bonus right now.
Cam Cunningham comes on for his first action. In the corner, Kamar Edwards around and out. Ryan Leonard had a good chance at the rebound, ended up with Williams. C in the corner, whips it up top, Syed. There's Gay showing his range.
That was a swoosh. Nothing but the bottom of the net there.
Gay, 6'9" sophomore. He has offers from SEC programs, including Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Wichita State, among the other schools that have offered Gay. That's the quality of talent that exists on this Daytona State roster.
And for it to come to fruition so quickly, a lot of credit to the coach.
Yeah, Brock Morris took over the program on May 2nd, so you're basically talking about a period of 2.5 months to try to put together a roster. And as we mentioned, virtually no returners. Bryce Williams, the only guy back who actually played last year. The other player on the roster was Corbin Merritt. He didn't play, he was hurt all of last year. So only 2 guys in place when Brock Morris took the job. Hadim C will get a break, and well-deserved as Merritt checks in for the first time. You bring in a guy with high major offers, and you bring in Corbin Merritt, who is signed with Oklahoma. There's a rebound by Gay. He scored the last 5, and the lead for Daytona State has swelled to 21-9. What a find. Ivan Smith inside. That'll count and 1. Kamar Edwards.
That was a beautiful pass to the inside. Wow. Brush back the hair a little bit on the Daytona defender.
Well, the vision and the accuracy to be able to make that pass. Edwards gets 3 points. He should donate at least 1 or 2 of those to Ivan Smith. Edwards hadn't scored in the last 2 games. He gets 3 on that possession. 21-12. Three-pointer way off there from Cunningham.
No air ball chance from the home crowd, thankfully.
Nice crowd is gathered to watch this second half of our doubleheader. Again, Daytona State 18-4, and a chance to tie for first in the Mid-Florida Conference with a win.
Checking in for Daytona State, number 15,
Jordan Coblin makes his first appearance. Bryce Williams will get a break. So the two main scorers, C and Williams, who have combined for 14 of the 21, are on the bench right now for Daytona State. Quick hands there up top from Cunningham, forcing the steal.
Probably can hear Coach Brock Morris barking out the orders.
Cunningham off the bounce. A loose ball foul. That'll go on Gay.
Gay, the sub, with his first.
That's 16 fouls on Daytona State. So Santa Fe in the bonus for the final 9-11 of this first half. And a team that shoots it at 70% from the line. So perhaps an opportunity to get back in it at the stripe. Smith willing to give that up. About a 27-footer there from Ivan Smith.
Coblin and Syed, both running the offense at different times here.
Coblin attacking on the baseline. Gay steps out. Got position inside. A late foul call, but the right one. A foul for Santa Fe going against Isaiah Islam.
Isaiah Islam is first personal, team third. And the line for Daytona State, Gay, shooting 2.
One of the priorities for Brock Morris coming into this game was to be aggressive against this Santa Fe 2-3 zone, and for the most part, I think Daytona State has done a good job of that so far.
I think his advice is ringing well with the team at this point. 10-point deficit after that one was just made. Looking to stretch the lead at the stripe.
And sometimes it's difficult for a team that wants to play up tempo, that wants to play at a fast pace, to execute in the half court. A lot of times they rush it. Even though Daytona State wants to run, they're showing patience while being aggressive in the half court.
No, agreed. And good discipline shown. Can you imagine? I mean, if you're basically a two-year program coach, you don't get a lot of time to gel. And to see what Brock Morris has already accomplished in his short term here, I know the administration is darn happy with him.
A turnaround jumper there from Mason. And not only in a short amount of time you're talking about from when guys get on campus, but 13 new players on this roster, and many of them are entirely new to American basketball. We have guys from the Senegal, from Cameroon, Issa and Syed, both from Canada. So you're trying to get guys acclimated quickly. I think when you consider that, it's amazing how good they've been in the early part of the year.
Exactly. Obviously, Canada, our neighbor, some of these guys coming from Ontario, you wonder what kind of pipeline does Brock Morris have from Canada?
Deflection from Fernandez. Ivan Smith did not react quick enough. But it is a different brand of basketball. These guys that come from international play where the officials allow a little bit more contact to go, it takes some time to get acclimated and used to how officials are going to call the game and the way players are going to compete. Fernandez the steal. Got hit by Syed. Now, 2 free throws for speedster Brady Fernandez.
Did you see the burners get turned on there? Went to hyperdrive.
Fernandez missed 9 games in November and December. He was dealing with a stress fracture. So 2 of the lead guards for Santa Fe have missed significant time, Fernandez and Smith. First points today for the 6'2 sophomore who played high school hoops at Osceola and Kissimmee, another player who won a state championship in high school.
Just down the I-4 corridor, somewhat of a local product.
And it's such a huge advantage for teams that make it to the state tournament. A lot of times You know, junior college coaches, especially in the state of Florida, are so busy during the high school season. There's not ample opportunity to get out and watch regular season games. So they each want to be at the state tournament in late February, early March. You get a chance to see 32, 36 teams in one place as Fernandez misfires on the three. For anyone that plays in the state tournament, you've got an opportunity to impress a lot of coaches.
No, that's correct. Oh, there's a steal there.
Bryce Williams back in there, active defensively. Syed with the easy lay-in. And a timeout for Daytona State.
Nice left hand there by Syed. Cambridge, Ontario.
Syed coming off only playing 2 minutes against the Florida State College of Jacksonville in the last game. A look at the quick hands of Bryce Williams. Great reactions defensively in that zone. Guys always looking to get in the passing lane.
He is a force to be reckoned with. I had the opportunity to watch him in several games last year. Obviously just fantastic to watch, truly entertaining. Glad to see that the audience has multiplied a little bit as we now 6 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in this first half.
Williams rated as the 15th best junior college prospect in the country, signed with Ole Miss. He came off the bench the first time these teams met in early January, scored 17. Right now he's at the top of that zone with Gay in the middle. Fernandez baseline cut, great defense played by Merritt. Nine-point advantage. Gay gets Merritt underneath. Oh, great high-low action. Coaches love to see the post passing to each other.
Inside out. Work that ball around the perimeter, then in, out. You're going to have people that are converge on you near the cylinder, and boom, you push it back out for the easy attempt for the three.
First foul on Kamar Edwards. Chris Morey imploring his team to hang in there, stay in it.
Oh.
Gay left wide open, missed the shot, and there'll be no dunk after that. Foul was called on the shot attempt. It's on John Mason.
Mason smiling because he knows that was too easy.
Gay was the leading scorer the first time these teams met, had 18 points and 11 boards. He's come off the bench and already has 6 this afternoon.
Yeah, Daytona State certainly showing depth in their roster.
I mean, when you bring a guy, Corbin Merritt, who signed with Oklahoma off the bench, that is a strong indicator about the level of talent.
That's right.
Thorpe, extra pass. Fernandez knocks down the three.
Nice rotation there.
45% three-point shooter, Brady Fernandez. Williams gets into the lane, elevates and hits.
Wow.
Boy, came to a
Beautiful
decisive jump stop.
Oh, my goodness.
And quickly rising up and knocking that down.
I mean, to be at eye level and watch that, it's sensational.
Merritt strong board. Syed the push for Daytona State. And Williams had a foot on the sideline. Cadwell and C come back for the Falcons. Nice hand for Syed and Corbin Merritt as they head to the bench. So 4 of the 5 starters back out there for Daytona State as we come up on 5 minutes to go in the first half. A 9-point lead for the Falcons.
Surprised Mason didn't stop and pop right there.
Thorpe navigating his way to the corner. Fernandez, same spot he just hit one. Mason working inside. Fadeaway doesn't go, and C's got it for Daytona State.
So far, a good pace for both teams with the North and South.
It'll stay with Daytona State. Said that Thorpe was on the baseline when he touched the ball. Blvd back on. Now Santa Fe's interior has held up largely in this first half, even though Bldg, the 7-footer, is on the bench with 2 fouls.
Yeah. That's a big body to get over.
C on the back of Thorpe. They'll get him for the foul, and that is his second.
Yeah, that was a senseless one there.
Credit Noah Thorpe. Significantly undersized at 6'5", but he really battled Hadim C on that possession, and as a result, they'll shoot a 1-and-1. C upset. He'll head to the bench with those 2 first-half fouls. So each team's primary big man, C for Daytona State, Bldg for Santa Fe, saddled with 2 fouls. Brock Morris getting an explanation of that last whistle.
Thorpe now 0 for 3 at the line. Need to make the first half of that 1-and-1 to even have a second chance.
Again, great interior passing. Gay sets up Merritt.
Their passing, Daytona State, so crisp, so quick.
22 assists per game. That is an extraordinary number. It leads the state. 3-pointers short from Miles Coleman, who is returning from a stress fracture. There's Gay. A traveling violation. Santa Fe got bailed out. Chris Morey going to take a timeout here. Really upset with his defensive rotations. That crisp passing from Daytona State looked like they were going to have a layup. Instead, it's a turnover.
Surprised he gave up the layup right there. Yeah, to kick it back out, but in hindsight, it's 2020. Right now, Daytona State stretching the lead, 11 points, double digits. Certainly showing right now who the dominant force is on the court.
That is the correct answer. Congratulations. Back to you, Mr. Jones. Checking in for Daytona State, number 15.
Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. 11-point lead for Daytona State. And they have led from the outset. Santa Fe has trailed the entire first half.
And, you know, in talking about our scholar athletes, I mean, how about Daytona State with such a high in the history of the basketball team here at Daytona State, the highest GPA recorded for basketball team.
3.32 in the first semester. That is an impressive number. So not only is Brock Morris recruiting outstanding players, but high character individuals that excel in the classroom as well.
Right. Academically oriented.
Coblin out there at the point right now for the Falcons. "15-footer no good, and another rebounding foul against Daytona State, and again it's Thorpe with the terrific box out.
Great box out. I just thought it was a great box out. I didn't see the foul.
2 fouls on Gay. So Thorpe is responsible for putting both Hadim C and Bldg on the bench. The 2 bigs for Daytona State with 2 fouls and another 1-and-1 for Thorpe to try to make it single digits.
Yeah, he just has to convert it to line. He's doing everything else right. There you go. That'll give him a little bit more confidence for the next one.
Thorpe, a native of Clearwater in his freshman year at Santa Fe. (30-21). Pace of the game a little bit slower than what Daytona State would like. Ivan Smith went for the steal, didn't get it. And a 3-pointer from Francois, the freshman from Fort Myers. Fernandez able to answer at the other end. He's hit a 3 from each corner. Coblin, great vision as a guard. He's got it on the wing. Kicking to Cadwell.
Cadwell looking for help.
Shot clock down to 5. Issa lines up a 3 off the back rim, and Smith's got it. Had to get on him.
Smith very active this half.
I thought he was going to be fouled, so he just threw the ball up toward the rim, but no whistle. Another three-pointer from Francois. This one no good. Ball loose inside. And the loose ball foul is going to go against Santa Fe. It's on Blvd.
Coach Morey got to be careful here. Referee's looking at him like he's going to tee him up, as you see.
Like, officiating is an incredibly difficult job. I don't know how those guys with a straight face can stand there and take the tongue lashing that they get from coaches. I would have such a quick reaction to tee up a coach for hammering me about missing a call. These guys show remarkable restraint. Blvd in amongst taller players, able to get the friendly bounce.
Nicely done. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble keeping my emotions down when it was a player and as a referee.
3 from the wing for Francois, his second 3 of the first half.
Francois lighting up the trays.
That's now 5 threes for Daytona State. They've got a count going in the corner. Fernandez stepping through. A high degree of difficulty on that shot off the glass.
That's not the normal one you practice. A lot of agility shown there.
8 for Fernandez. Francois left open again. Miles Coleman will push for Santa Fe. Margin is 8 with under a minute to go here in the first half. Blvd rejected by Merritt. That looked like a volleyball spike. Coblin bounce pass. Merritt with a reverse.
That's exactly what Santa Fe didn't want. For Daytona State to have momentum going into the second half.
10-point game, and Santa Fe can hold for the last shot of the half. About a second and a half difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
Both coaches barking out orders.
Smith, Fernandez got free on the baseline and hits the 3. Third 3 of the first half for Fernandez. Coblin at the buzzer does not have enough on it. Brock Morris really upset. He thought Santa Fe committed an illegal screen on that final possession. The 3 from Fernandez makes it a 7-point margin, 38-31. Great action in the first half.
Oh, great action. But right now, Coach Morris giving an earful to one of the Zebras.
Both Coach Morey and Coach Morris with some stuff to be happy about as they head to the locker room and some frustration with the officiating crew. What else is new, right?
Exactly.
38-31 is the score here at halftime. I want you to stay with us. Got some exciting stuff coming up at Daytona State. College coaches and athletes take academics seriously, and with the new stadium and the support of the athletic community, there are many reasons to consider enrolling at Daytona State. Let's take a look at some of the programs offered by Daytona State College.
It's time to express yourself. You're busy over the holidays. We get it. At Daytona State College, we know a thing or two about how to help you stay on track. Our 7-week express courses start March 18th, so you still have time to get started on a new career. What are you waiting for? Apply today. Lock in your class schedule and financial aid by going to daytonastate.edu/apply or call 386-506-4DSC. It's time to express yourself.
Here at Daytona State College, we have an education program as well as a service program for our student athletes. An athletic trainer is a highly trained, skilled medical professional who's licensed and certified to provide services to a wide range of people with injuries and medical conditions. We collaborate with physicians to provide preventive services, emergency care, clinical diagnosis, therapeutic intervention, rehabilitative services. We probably see an average of 30 or 35 students per day, and that is mostly for treatments before practice and after practice. And that doesn't count the people who just grab an ice bag. We provide most of their medical care, at least in terms of their injuries that they suffer as student athletes. Athletic trainers actually attend all their practices and their games so that if something happens during those practices or games, we are there when it happens. We can see it happen and we know exactly what type of care to provide. Sometimes it's emergency care, sometimes it's just come and see me after practice and we'll look at that.
So our student athletes have an aquatic center available to them that they can utilize for their workout strength and conditioning programs. And the benefit of having an aquatic center is they can do some workouts that aren't as tough and helps your muscles and joints kind of have a break for that, but you're still getting a very, very good workout in. Student athletes who are coming back from injuries, they can go in the pool and utilize the pool. Our soccer team, they may have a lot of heated days where they're out in the sun and they're running, and they can come into the pool, still get a great workout in that will benefit them when they go back on the field, but they don't have those other elements that are affecting them. The training you do really varies based upon where you're at within your year training cycle. A team that's in season, they may come in here once or twice a week, and it's really doing more maintenance, not doing heavy weights, but doing exercises and things that will prevent injuries and maintain what they worked for in the off season. Off season, they're probably in here 5 days a week. Every day they're not working on legs, or every day they're not working on arms, but they're splitting up their workouts. So they're in here 5 days a week, working hard and getting after it. Nearly year-round, you'll find our student athletes in here either a couple times a week or every single day.
I'm a nutrition professor here at Daytona State College, and I'm also a sports dietitian that works with all of our athletic teams. So many times I get asked, what should an athlete eat? It's going to depend upon their sport, the position that they play, the time of year, like what part of the season they're in. Are they in season? Are they out of season? But basically, when we think about creating a winning plate, we think about having 3 things on the plate. Number 1 is lean protein. So that could be something like chicken, fish, lean beef. And then to that, we want our athletes to load up on fruits and veggies. So you might have a good portion of the plate be vegetables. And this is to supply vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that athletes need for recovery. And then the third part of the plate obviously is going to have some carbohydrates on it. And so we prefer them to eat healthy carbs, so maybe something like a sweet potato, brown rice, for example. And carbs are going to give them the fuel to be able to perform and recover from that day's workout.
It's time to claim your career. At Daytona State College, our new Database Technology Associate degree positions students for high-paying jobs managing databases to drive business strategies. Plus, our Engineering Technology Associate degree includes a new specialization in additive manufacturing. That's 3D printing, a rapidly expanding technology. Prepare for a new career or advance where you work now. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
The Daytona State College of Education is forever grateful to Volusia Flagler County Schools and our collaborative partnership that allows us to spend this exciting time out in the field working with these wonderful students, doing one-on-one reading instruction 4 days a week.
Daytona State has definitely prepared me for being a teacher with all the field work that we've been able to experience through the program, as well as the support and help from all of our wonderful professors. And being able to work one-on-one with the students has been a wonderful opportunity to experience that already before I get placed in my senior internship.
So today, we're going to learn about something that I think is really fascinating. We're going to be learning about weather balloons.
In the IMES lab, we have state-of-the-art equipment that help us further our research.
We are going to be surveying these seagrass beds here in Oak Hills and looking at how they're changing over time.
I love doing this, coming out into the field and actually getting my hands dirty. And
you get to do everything you've ever wanted to do in a marine biology program. You get to go out into the field and actually do the work.
We are truly building a program here for students that are interested in conducting undergraduate research. It's a rather rigorous program for a two-year college.
I'm going out and studying horseshoe crab populations and seeing where their nesting sites are and how often they nest where they are.
The professors motivate us, they inspire us to continue our research and to better ourselves in the scientific community.
This is much better than sitting in a classroom just looking at pictures and listening to people talk. We get to actually feel and see the plants in their natural habitat.
I love this class. I love everything about it, the learning of the names of the flowers. Now it's like putting a name with a face.
Thinking about college? Direct Connect at Daytona State College can put you on the fast track to UCF. Through Direct Connect, DSC and UCF will guide you from your freshman year at DSC through your senior year at UCF, leading you on a path toward success. In fact, when you earn your AA at DSC, you are guaranteed admission as a junior to any Florida public university. Find out more at daytonastate.edu or call 386-506-4DSC.
It's time to claim your career. Daytona State's newest certificate program in hospitality beverage science combines theory and practical hands-on instruction on a range of beverage production processes like craft brewing and wines. Learn how to pair wines and beer with appropriate food choices, produce various styles of beers and wines, as well as how to manage, merchandise, and market beverages. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
Back at the L. Gale Lemerand Center on the campus of Daytona State, 38-31. Falcons lead. Austin Line, Ted Sofianos. That promo gives you some glimpse into the ample amount of degrees that are offered here at Daytona State. And as you said, campus constantly expanding with some new buildings coming online.
Oh, yeah, they have the Student Center. That's going to be opening just after mid-March. It was in the works to hopefully have opened just already, but they haven't completed all the construction. It's going to be a gorgeous building. You know, and then the addition of various other programs that we have here, other sports programs as well. You know, we have, women's and men's cross country. We now have the soccer team now 2 years in, the women's volleyball team. Honestly, with scholar athletes, they show the proclivity to pass and complete. 90% of them. So they're a good group of population as far as our additions to this college.
And Brock Morris's team, 3.32 GPA for the fall semester, highest in program history. All right, 38-31 is the score. Take you through some of the defining plays from the first half. We had a lob for a dunk right off the opening tip, and really from that point on, Daytona State showed they were ready to play offensively.
Oh, hello, accent. What we're going to be doing for the rest of the game, trying to dictate. There it was right there from the very beginning. The opening play.
Bryce Williams, who had that dunk, had 9 points. Hadim Sy with 7. Foul trouble for Sy and Bldg. They both picked up 2 fouls, had to sit for some of that first half. That gave Santa Fe an opportunity to get back in it. Brady Fernandez didn't score in the first 10 minutes of the first half. You look down, he's got 13. Really came to life as that first half went on for Santa Fe.
Yeah, Fernandez, a tremendous asset as he got going. As you looked also, Mason contributing, and you mentioned Noah Thorpe a number of times. He just didn't convert at the foul line, at the stripe, enough times, but he's certainly been a force for their offense.
There was a 3 by Fernandez late in the first half. Make it 38-31. First time these teams met, an 18-point win for Daytona State. Perhaps we will see a similar scoreline. In that first game, it was a 4-point game at the half. Daytona State pulled away in the second half. That's certainly what Brock Morris is hoping for here in the final 20 minutes.
Right, and actually the Santa Fe hanging around. They're close. The only one in double figures for both teams was Fernandez, and we just highlighted him a minute ago. Meanwhile, you have a number of point scorers strewn out throughout the bench and starters for Daytona State College.
And we figured Daytona State would have an edge because of its depth. And Brock Morris able to utilize that to the tune of 14 bench points in the first half, just 5 for Santa Fe. So the first-year coach at Daytona State hoping to get closer to that 20-win mark. A win today would tie Daytona State for the College of Central Florida for first place in the Mid-Florida Conference. And wouldn't you know it, those teams are playing Wednesday night. So you win, you get to 4-1. College of Central Florida sitting at 4-1, and you have a chance to take over sole possession of first place with a win on Wednesday.
Thorpe didn't wait for the whistle, it seems.
Daytona State out and trapping here on the first possession. Mason just does control it. Fernandez makes the extra pass. Bldg on the baseline, who sat for much of that first half with foul trouble, misses his first attempt here in the second half. Inside, Bldg quickly picks up a third, and Hadim C will have a chance for a 3-point play.
They were going for that same play that they did in the first half to start up the game.
So a quick third on Bldg. C goes to the line. able to convert the free throw. So he is in double figures with 10, the high man for Daytona State.
All the same starters for Daytona State.
Thorpe turns it over. Cadwell, easy layup. 5 quick points for the Falcons here to start the second half. So much length when Daytona State goes to that zone. Ivan Smith, nice pass from Bldg, and Smith hits the triple. He's got it again on the block. Bldg has to be careful with those 3 fouls. Williams, no, but here comes Francois. Nobody checked him out, and he's able to get the rebound and the putback.
Nice athleticism shown there. Not even let the ball come down.
Brock Morris getting his offense set up. C continuing to work for position against Bldg. Look for that high-low. Issa's pass intercepted. And Santa Fe on the sideline, so it will stay with Daytona State. 9 seconds on the shot clock for Daytona State.
Ref not having it.
Williams in between 2 defenders. And Cadwell does not get it away in time. And Francois just not aware of shot clock running down there. Needed to let that one go in the corner. Had a good look.
Coach Morris giving just a little bit of an earful. Tell him to be aware, be alert.
Bldg, that baseline is where he lives and able to step out to about 18 feet.
Nice conversion.
Signed with the University of Arkansas Little Rock after spending his first year of eligibility at Montana. That time Francois will take it. No hesitation as he knocks down the corner 3.
With Mason's hand in his face. Good job by Francois.
Smith in an awkward position, double teamed, nearly turned it over. Instead, Fernandez has a wide open 3. Out of bounds to Daytona State. Seven-point lead at the half. Chris Morey's team now trailing by 12.
Daytona State able to extend the lead a bit here in the opening moments of the second half.
Cadwell off the skip pass. Smith fouls Issa on the way up, and he'll have a chance for 3.
So far, several fouls on Santa Fe, none on Daytona State.
Free throw good from Tariq Issa. Starting to get away from Santa Fe. Daytona State really asserting themselves. Thorpe weaving through the defense.
Very pretty.
Finger rolls it off the glass. Francois. Well, he's had the hot hand from distance. That one didn't miss by much. Cadwell gets the rebound. C with a left hand will be on the line.
They're piling up the fouls. Daytona State bodies flying in for the offensive rebounds. C very active here so far.
Hadim C, 6'10", redshirt sophomore from the Senegal. had a triple-double in a game earlier this season against Coastal Alabama. 10 blocks to go along with 17 points and 11 boards. A lot of times you see guys come over from those African nations, and the first 2 years of their collegiate career is a project. Hadim C looks remarkably smooth.
Comfy in the program, and gives some hats off and credit to Coach Morris.
Just comes so easily for him. 52-38. Cadwell, the deflection and the throwdown. Timeout Santa Fe. It is a 16-point lead for Daytona State.
You can hear the volume elevated here by the crowd. I think Coach Morey for Santa Fe did the right thing there. Had to take a timeout.
38-31 at the half. Daytona State has 16 points in the first 4 minutes of the second half. And it is defense leading to offense for the Falcons.
I think right now Daytona obviously impressing upon Santa Fe, who's the dominant one at the home turf. This is not the start that Santa Fe was hoping for.
A nightmare scenario for Chris Morey, and this is exactly what Brock Morris wanted with his team coming out of the locker room. Pressure leading to turnovers and mistakes, and they're able to generate great looks offensively. I mean, there's a tough shot, a quick one. Fernandez, the offensive board. His shot was altered, and Daytona State a chance to run off the miss.
Does Fernandez have some springs on his springs or what?
Yeah, just 6'2", but he can get up. C with the left hand, boarded by Bldg. Not fast or long enough to be able to catch that pass from Ivan Smith. So it'll go back to Daytona State. 18-4 on the year, and they could easily be 22-0. Their 4 losses this season by a total of 12 points. Largest margin of defeat was 4. That came against Hillsborough Community College, 87-83.
And I suspect this team will only get better as the playoffs near.
Cadwell, the Buffalo signee.
Kaboom.
That's now 10 consecutive games with at least one made 3 for Dury Cadwell. Bldg cans the jumper. He's got a nice touch.
Yeah, he's going to be a great asset to the next program he goes to. 4-year college, university.
7-foot sophomore from Bosnia and Herzegovina. C had the rebound and got hacked on the way down. That's on Bldg, and it's his 4th.
And sadly for Santa Fe, Daytona State is extending this lead and making it look effortless. Like the machine is really well oiled right now.
Cadwell has a step. There's just so many weapons. Mason does a good job against C, but he's able to stick with it. Left hand off the window. 19-point margin, 59-40 in favor of the Falcons. And they've gotten a lot smaller. Bldg went to the bench with his 4th foul. Kamar Edwards, who's listed at 6'5", has come on. Fernandez misfires. Quick outlet. Here comes Williams. Cadwell with the finish and the foul.
And one. Right now it's a scoring bonanza for Daytona State College.
And the pace of the game has changed dramatically from what we saw in the first half. We saw a lot of half-court possessions, and Brock Morris wanted to pick up the tempo, said the faster it is, the better it is for us. And it has been a much faster game here in the second half.
You know, watching Brock Morris on the sidelines and the team being up, 22 points, and he's still so intense while counseling the Scholar athletes.
Thorpe is fouled by Cadwell, third on the 6'5" freshman.
Cadwell now with 3, with 13:50 remaining.
Mason high, arcing 3 from the corner. Santa Fe going to need a lot more of that to have any chance at making this game more competitive. Right now, Daytona State has it rolling offensively. 24 points in the first 6.5 minutes for Daytona State.
Santa Fe has some excellent players. It's just that they're outmatched right now with the talent Daytona State is displaying.
Cadwell contested 3, no. Ball loose inside, and the jump ball possession will keep it with Daytona State. There's 1 to shoot on the shot clock. It's got to be a lob or a catch and shoot. They lob it into C. Thorpe knocked it away, and here comes Fernandez. Williams back to challenge.
Wow.
Well, the athleticism of those two. But a one-on-one game between them would be interesting. There's a lob. C comes down with it, catches and scores.
They were looking for a little razzle-dazzle, but settled for an easy layup.
Mason faces up. That hits the rope above the rim. It'll go over to Daytona State.
Yeah, it hits the rope, and it's an immediate out-of-bounds call.
(64-43) as we come up on 12.5 minutes remaining in the game. It has been all Daytona State here in the second half. 6-point margin at the break. Daytona State has exploded offensively here in the first 7.5 minutes. Cadwell with the lob. Williams could not quite bring it in. That play worked off the opening tip. They've tried it twice more since. Thorpe, nice change of pace. Mason could not hit the 3.
Thorpe with a great no-look over there to the corner, just didn't convert.
Fernandez, a short with the 3. I wonder if the speed of the game starting to wear a little bit on Santa Fe. We've seen several shots come up short. A foul on Hadim C will put Kamar Edwards at the line.
That makes C with 3. No, I'm surprised last offensive possession for Daytona State just to go up and then pop a shot from 3 points rather than work the clock a little bit. I'm sure Coach Morris not having that next go-around.
Edwards splits the pair of free throws, 1 of 2. Edwards 6'5", he's a fantastic athlete, played at Poinciana, right down the road from Osceola, so him and Brady Fernandez went head-to-head in high school, now on the same team. Remember a conversation with Edwards' high school coach in which he said he needed to learn how to compete on every possession. And it wasn't until a college coach sat down with Edwards and said, look, man, if you are not going to compete every single time down the floor, college coaches are going to overlook you. They're not going to want you on their roster. That resonated with him. Started to play a lot harder toward the tail end of his high school career, and it's led to him having an opportunity here in college.
And sometimes it has to come from somebody you respect and authority. And for him, obviously, that finally worked. What I've noticed thus far, though, Daytona State pulling ahead here. And with that one possession that I mentioned before, with Daytona State just doing a popping shot past the three-point line, that was almost a gift to Santa Fe. I think Coach Morris right now is giving a little counseling session about that. You know, spread the court, Run down the time, inside, outside.
Daytona State 10 of 16 from the field so far here in the second half. Good for 65%.
3 players already in double figures. Kadeem, Francois, and Cadwell.
Santa Fe going to extend their defense a little bit and come with some pressure. Bldg back out there for Daytona State along with Syed. Fresh bodies for Brock Morris's team. Syed drives the baseline. Probing for space.
7 on the clock.
Gay down the lane, off the window, almost as if he was trying to pass it to himself. And a fresh 30 for Daytona State. Gay faces up, sets up Cadwell. Another 3 for Daytona State. That's 3 of them here in the second half. And they've got 9 in the game.
Showing no signs of slowing down.
Smith dribbles into a 3. That's another deep one, but he has shown he can hit it from out there.
Smith has certainly been a gem so far for that team, and a steal here.
Gay lets him go, so 5 quick points from Ivan Smith. Margin down to 18, but still a lot of work to do for Santa Fe. Back-to-back turnovers from Daytona State against this 2-2-1 press. And Syed reaches in on Edwards.
Don't want to get lax here if you're Daytona State. Probably a good foul right there as they were up in numbers on that breakaway.
Smith lobs it for Edwards, who could not pound it through. And at the other end, Cadwell gets the easy layup. 4-point swing for Daytona State. Edwards into Merritt. That's an offensive foul.
Merritt smiling there a little bit. He might have had a little bit of acting class.
Watching it live, I thought that was a block.
Oh, definitely.
I think that's a tough call against Santa Fe.
Like you were mentioning before, it's such a tough call to make.
And block charge generates. It's so difficult for the officials to make that call in the amount of time that you have. Even you think about like pass interference in football, most of the time a pass interference call is clear and obvious. And if you're the defensive team, all right, he got him. You know, but that block charge call, most of the time you are making one coach really happy and one coach and the other fan base just incredibly angry. It is divisive.
Exactly. And you're talking a nanosecond of trying to focus in on the feet and the body at the same time for those referees.
Mm-hmm. Blvd is hacked at the high post. And starting to get some more whistles here.
That's 2 quick fouls on Syed. Third total. Sloppy play there.
Edwards just not concentrating. Ivan Smith makes up for it. Smith dribbles around a double team. Edwards in the corner. That's a 3.
Edwards wide open.
Edwards hadn't scored in the last 2 games. He's got 8. Cadwell thought about the lob there with Merritt, instead took it himself.
Good job recognizing the defense there on Cadwell.
Smith misfires on the 3, turned into a bit of a rec league game here the last 3 or 4 possessions.
Rec league, yeah. Good analogy.
Gay lobs it inside. Merritt. Blvd at 6'7", undersized, has done a nice job on the inside. He's playing more minutes than he normally would because of Bldg's foul trouble. Blvd, a couple of ball fakes. That one hit both the front and back of the rim and wouldn't fall in.
Both teams showing a few signs of fatigue here.
Crisp ball movement. Williams attacking and finishing.
He seemed like he went from the edge of the three-point circle in 2 steps to the cylinder.
Amazing how explosive he is. I mean, he's 6'3", so a little bit undersized for what you see from a two-guard at the major Division I level, but he more than makes up for it with his athleticism and ability to shoot from the perimeter. Smith wide open. He splashes that three. But at this point, trading score is not going to do much good for Santa Fe. 75-55, 20-point lead for Daytona State. They've had it on cruise control since the start of the second half. Gay gives it up to Merritt for a better shot. That was an unselfish play, and Merritt didn't finish.
Merritt's got to be shaking his head. 2 good opportunities there.
Lots of subs waiting to come in at the 6:53 mark. Copeland and Francois back on for Daytona State. Bldg with those 4 fouls comes back on with just under 7 minutes to go.
$20 points separates the lead.
Corner 3 no good from Miles Coleman. And Santa Fe excited about what he could potentially do down the stretch here in the regular season. Missed the first 5 games in January with a stress fracture. He returned in a limited role on Wednesday, still coming off the bench today. But his minutes are starting to increase, potentially be a factor once the conference tournament comes. Gay short on the baseline.
Some great ball movement there, but didn't end up in a basket.
There's a glimpse at why Daytona State averages 22 assists per game as Ryan Leonard rattles home a 3.
Leonard was somewhere between the three-point circle and mid-court.
Leonard's been inconsistent with his scoring, but certainly has the ability to get it going. 6'4" freshman from Ireland. Copeland gonna let it go.
Daytona State here settling a little bit.
Up ahead, Bldg couldn't reel it in from Thorpe. Fernandez and Mason back on for Santa Fe. Raiders going to try and make one last push to make this competitive in the closing minutes. And up to Brock Morris's team to try to close it out.
I mean, 17 points separates the lead, but we've seen stranger things happen.
And with the way these teams have been giving up open three-point looks, you get a couple of stops and a couple of threes, and it's a brand new game. Gay does a good job stepping through that trap. Sy trying to catch the pass with one hand.
Referee letting a lot go by there. A lot of foul, a lot of hacking.
Fernandez was able to make a significant amount of contact up there at half court. Coleman attacking, tough shot. Down to 15 with 5:10 remaining. Gay lost the handle. Well, some turnovers and sloppy plays here for Daytona State. Santa Fe a chance to get within 12 if they can hit a 3. That's a really tough shot there from Coleman.
That was a long time coming there. There was a lot of hand checking going the last 2 times up.
That's the 7th team foul against Santa Fe, so Coleman's bump will put Zubair Syed at the line, 79% free throw shooter. Daytona State's been good as a team, 73% this year, but this is always the case. You talk well about someone at the line, and they're not able to convert.
Yeah, that's you're doing that pretty well twice. And then here's a turnover.
Syed right into the chest. That is not going to count because basket interference. Well, that's unfortunate because that was rolling around and down for Zubair Syed. It was definitely going to go down. He was going to have a chance for a three-point play, but a Daytona State player comes in and grabs the rim, which is basket interference.
He had his opportunity just to leave the rim alone. Syed, if you can convert both, be happy just to lose the 1 point, I suppose. And he does.
Daytona State 9 of 13 at the line. Haven't gotten there with the frequency that they normally do, but they've made the most of their opportunities. Mason working in that zone. And it'll come for Miles Coleman. He's missed a couple of three-pointers on that wing, but rusty from not having played because of that stress fracture. Inside, nice catch by C. Left it on the front rim. Bldg able to tap it to Fernandez. A foul on the drive by Fernandez. That's just the 5th team foul on Daytona State.
They're going to talk it out, which I'm in agreement with for the refs. Who had the better angle?
And it is going to be a foul after a discussion amongst the officials.
No, I'm glad they at least they consulted about it and came up with the right call.
That's the 5th team foul. So again, no free throws for Fernandez.
Just under 4.
That was a great effort by Syed. Daytona State comes away with it, and they give it right back. But the fantastic effort from Zubair Syed to chase that down. Bldg, baseline jumper. Looked like C extended to get a piece of that.
Got a piece of that, yeah, he did. Well up.
3.5 to go. Even though it's gotten a little sloppy here down the stretch, Daytona State has maintained a stranglehold. Almost get the sense that both teams are kind of limping to the finish line. Another bump on Syed. That's the 5th foul on Syed, so 6-foot sophomore from Cambridge, Ontario's day comes to an end.
In comes Cunningham. And back with Williams.
17-point margin with just more than 3 minutes to go. Right in the not quite over yet range. You get a couple more stops and you feel really comfortable. Here's Cam Cunningham out in transition. And that'll probably do it. Ivan Smith racing the other way. Flips it up and draws a foul. Now, one thing coaches will always tell you, you learn a lot about your guys when they're out there on the court and the margin of the game has been decided. 19 points, 2:54 to go. Are you still doing the right thing? Still getting in a stance, playing defense as hard as you can, taking care of the ball, making sure we get a good shot. You know, I think it's easy sometimes for young players to look at these situations and not value the time out there. But this is still an opportunity to impress your coach and earn more minutes when it's a tight game.
Right, and I think if you get a little bit lax, even if a couple of players do,
My partner got so overcome with emotion talking about what it means to play late in the game. He's clearing his throat a little bit. I didn't realize talking about, effort late in the game was going to be such a sticking point for you, Ted.
I'm back. No, what happens if you end up with a couple of, weak links for the 5 guys around here, you put a lot of stress and pressure on them by kind of being a little bit lax. And then that equates to nerves. And then everybody starts to get a little bit tight. And then next thing you know, you're letting the other team into the game.
Look at some of our upcoming schedule. Be back with you on February 23rd for another basketball doubleheader as the women and men play at 2 and 4. And then baseball starts up on March 6th, 3 p.m. game against Santa Fe. See some softball on March 19th, also against Santa Fe. Exciting time when you have the winter sports season coming to an end, coming to a peak with conference tournaments, and you also have teams like baseball and softball hitting the field for the first time.
And how about this first-rate coverage by our television crew here at Daytona State WDSC TV? I mean, they've done a remarkable job, and they're setting this all up for their fans, for Channel 15 if you're watching DirecTV. Hopefully we have a good amount of folks out there watching right now, enjoying this. There's some of our camera crew.
Now, we certainly appreciate the efforts of those folks. Those are the ones that actually work, both setting up and work during the course of the game. You and I just get to sit here and talk. We have the easy job. And we appreciate them making us look good and bringing you the sights and sounds of this doubleheader between Daytona State and Santa Fe.
First half was a little closer. I can't say the second half's been a snoozer, but there's another flush.
Merritt underneath with the slam off the feed from Robert Benown, who is in the game for the first time. Benown making an immediate impact. Bldg tries to go with the reverse, kicked out to Smith. Ivan Smith, no quit in that kid. Smith 5 of 8 from 3. He leads all scorers with 21. Under 2 minutes to go, there's a lob to Merritt. Back-to-back dunks for the future Oklahoma Sooner.
Couldn't tell what happened to Ivan Smith.
Trying to play defense. I don't know if he caught an elbow in the face or in the eye, but shaken up a little bit, so he will head to the sideline.
And in comes Isaiah Islam.
Smith wanted to go back in there after being quickly checked out, but coaches pulled him back. Grant Smith will get a chance to play for Santa Fe, 6'2" sophomore from Largo. Stephen Rawwire out there for Daytona State.
I think by Bldg coming out, that's signaling something as far as this last minute and 46 seconds.
One of the most satisfying things for coaches, they will tell you, is being far enough ahead to both feel good about the victory and give some of their guys who compete so hard in practice the chance to play and show what they can do. Good stuff from Noah Thorpe.
That was gorgeous. Gorgeous to watch.
Chad Vincent Simon, freshman from Scarborough, Ontario, also out there for Daytona State. Goes off the head of Rawwire.
Needs help.
Benown trying to get things settled for Daytona State. So the Falcons are going to move to 4-1 in the Mid-Florida Conference, and Wednesday night will be the showdown with the College of Central Florida as Daytona State hits the road. Both of those teams right now 4-1 in conference play, so first place will be on the line Wednesday night.
That's right.
Daytona State right now 6th in the state poll. College of Central Florida 1 spot higher at number 5, and Daytona State just outside the national top 25. They are the first team among those also receiving votes in those rankings. They figure with a win today and potentially a win on Wednesday, find themselves right back in that top 25.
They might just break right through.
Merritt off the side of the backboard. That'll be one more offensive possession here for each team. Thorpe off the mark on the 3, and the shot clock is turned off. So that should do it. Close game in the first half. Daytona State pulls away. They led by as many as 23 here in the second half, and the final margin is going to be 16, 83-67. As the teams start to head toward their respective benches, Brock Morris's club improves to 19-4. They were outstanding, cementing the victory in the early moments of the second half.
Certainly a great display of athleticism on both sides. I mean, let's face it, Santa Fe, even though they got outplayed today, they did show some great ball skills defensively and offensively. It was a very good game to watch. Obviously not the outcome that Santa Fe Saints would have liked.
Now that Smith and Fernandez are healthy, Miles Coleman will get there. Santa Fe certainly a team to watch as we head into the later part of the season. But Daytona State gets the win. They improve to 19-4. And again, big game coming up on Wednesday night in Ocala against the College of Central Florida.
Looking forward to seeing that. That will not be, of course, broadcast on this particular station.
But we do have some great action for you. Still another basketball doubleheader. We show you some of the highlights and top moments from this one, and there were certainly a lot of them for Daytona State, especially in the early part of the second half.
Oh, definitely. In that second half, they just kind of started to pull away with a lot of those great players that Daytona State just has too many weapons.
5 players in double figures. Dury Cadwell, who you saw hitting the 3, leading the way for Daytona State. He had 19, 8 of 9 from the floor. Cadwell nearly perfect. He missed only 1 shot, and he was 2 of 3 from beyond the three-point line. Hadim C., Bryce Williams, Harwin Francois, and Bldg also in double figures for Daytona State. The Falcons shoot 58% in the second half, mostly from getting shots like that one.
Right. I mean, anytime you can have a flush, that's a pretty high percentage shot for sure.
So 83-67 is the final. Look forward to watching what Daytona State can do the rest of the way. For Ted Sofianos and our entire crew, led by Director Mark Begonia and producer Jean-Marie Appleby, Austin Lyons saying so long from Daytona State. Congratulations to the Falcons men's basketball team. They improved to 19-4. Thanks for joining us.